Chidinma Vanessa Onwe Adetshina, born by a Nigerian father and a Mozambique mother who was a strong contender in the Miss South Africa beauty pageant, slated to be held on Saturday at the Summit Arena in Pretoria, has withdrawn from the competition after the country police, the Home Affairs Department, issued a statement that her mother allegedly committed identity theft in 2001 after a series of South Africa citizens took to social media platforms to question the true nationality of the beauty pageant contestants. The 23-year-old had emerged as a central figure of discussion on national identity issue after advancing to the top 30 and becoming a finalist in the Miss South Africa competition. She gave in on Thursday morning, weeks after South Africans called for her disqualification over issues related to her nationality and the business integrity of her Nigerian father. Home Affairs Department, in a voice-recorded news release, said that its investigations revealed that Chidinma's citizenship may have involved fraud and identity theft. Some residents in South Africa had called for her disqualification from the Miss South Africa pageant, alleging she was not a legitimate South African citizen. The Home Affairs Department said the pageant organizers formally requested the department to verify Adetshina's citizenship, accompanied by written consent from both Adetshina and her mother. Preliminary findings from the investigation suggest potential fraud and identity theft linked to the individual recorded as Adetshina's mother in Home Affairs records, according to the South Africa Home Affairs Police. However, the department noted that Adetshina, being a minor at the time of the alleged actions in 2001, was not involved in the fraudulent activities, adding that the investigation further uncovered that a South African woman, whose identity may have been stolen in the process, has suffered significant consequences, including the inability to register her own child. The department said it had broadened its investigation to identify and pursue any officials implicated in the scheme and is currently seeking legal advice on the ramifications for Adetshina's citizenship status, saying criminal charges are anticipated upon the conclusion of the investigation. The Home Affairs said, and in quotes, "Information we have uncovered thus far, the Department of Home Affairs can indicate that prima facie reasons exist to believe that fraud and identity theft may have been committed by the person recorded in Home Affairs records as Chidinma Adetshina's mother." The department, which commenced investigations on Tuesday, alleged that Ms. Adetshina's mother stole a South African woman's identity to register her birth 23 years ago. Chidinma, in a statement on Thursday morning, said, "I would like to start by thanking everyone who has stood beside me right from the start of my Miss South Africa journey. I'm grateful for all the love and support I have been shown. Being part of the Miss South Africa 2024 competition has been an amazing journey. However, after much careful consideration, I have decided to withdraw myself from the competition for the safety and well-being of my family and me. With the support of the Miss South Africa organization, I live with a heart full of gratitude for this amazing experience. I would like to take this opportunity to wish my fellow finalists all the best for the remainder of the competition. Whoever wears the crown represents us all." Rino Omokri, former presidential spokesperson in Nigeria, while reacting to her withdrawal, said even if her mother committed offenses when Chidinma was born in South Africa, as alleged by some in South Africa's governmental agencies, South African authorities should have tackled the mother, not the daughter. Why did they suddenly remember this when Chidinma contested for the Miss South Africa crown? This looks like victimization. Nigerians spent $10 million daily on South African companies like Mountain, DSTV, and other firms. How come none of them could speak up for Chidinma? Mountain has never spoken up for Nigeria, whether it is during the xenophobic attacks or the DSTV shutdown of Nigeria's penalties during AFCON 2023 when we played South Africa, and now this. What is their purpose in Nigeria other than to suck money from our economy and repatriate it to South Africa? Chidinma has never known any other home other than South Africa. What the South African authorities have done to her is to use state apostates to terrorize and traumatize her into submission. She can't help it if she is beautiful. Would the South African authorities like it if the United States singled out Trevor Noah for victimization in future if he decides to maybe contest an election there? I really hope the South African government has given enough thought to how this action could harm Pan-African relationships in this day and age of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. If we, as sub-Saharan black Africans, would do this to each other, then what moral authority do we have to fight against racism? I hope the South African authorities revisit this incident and remove the pressure that made Chidinma withdraw from the pageant. Perhaps President Cyril Ramaphosa can intervene. Mr. Ramaphosa is much beloved in Nigeria. Maybe he can also show love to Chidinma.
An ongoing investigation by Home Affairs has found prima facie indications of fraud committed by Chidinma Adetshina's mother. The Department of Home Affairs herewith provides an update on the ongoing investigation into the citizenship of Miss Chidinma Adetshina, a contestant in the upcoming Miss SA event. The reason for the ongoing nature of the investigation is that its scope has broadened since the original request received from the organizers of Miss SA based on the information uncovered by Home Affairs investigators thus far. The department nonetheless provides this update to the public based on that official request and consent. We will provide a final update once the investigation is concluded. Upon receiving the request for investigation, the department deployed every resource at its disposal to establish the truth. This has included archival research, visits to hospitals, and site visits to verify information. From the information we have uncovered thus far, the Department of Home Affairs can indicate that prima facie reasons exist to believe that fraud and identity theft may have been committed by the person recorded in Home Affairs records as Chidinma Adetshina's mother. Adetshina herself could not have participated in the alleged unlawful actions of her mother, as she was an infant at the time when the activities took place in 2001. An innocent South African mother, whose identity may have been stolen as part of the alleged fraud, suffered as a result because she could not register her child. The department has broadened its investigation to identify and pursue any officials involved in the alleged scheme and is obtaining legal advice on the implications of the alleged fraudulent activity on Adetshina's citizenship status. And finally, upon the completion of the investigation, Home Affairs intends to press criminal charges and convict all implicated parties. This case, which stems from alleged fraudulent activities committed 23 years ago, highlights the urgent need for the digital modernization of Home Affairs applications, adjudication and verification processes to insulate the department against fraudulent interference, similar to the reforms undertaken at the South African Revenue Service in the late 2000s. The case also highlights the reason for the department's blocking of certain duplicate IDs and that the court-ordered unblocking of these documents must be handled with caution. Throughout this process, Home Affairs is guided by our commitment to both restoring and upholding the rule of law as well as the rights of all parties.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.